Should the New York Giants trade for Kirk Cousins? Another dumb idea that we have to talk about on today's show. I'll ask you, though, should they do it? Type T for trade, type D for decline. Bleacher Report says the New York Giants should trade for Cousins. What do you think? Welcome to the NFL offseason, real ones. The time of the year where people have a quota to meet and an article deadline, and they throw out logic to make it. Should the Giants trade for Kirk Cousins? Hell no, they should not trade for Kirk Cousins. Bleacher Report thinks they should, and we're going to react to that on today's show. Says this: the Giants don't have a quarterback under contract for 2025. So they will likely add a veteran with significant starting experience. Because of Cousins' age and subpar 2024 season, Big Blue may be able to acquire him in exchange for a fourth-round pick. Are you kidding me? Trading for Kirk Cousins makes zero sense for the New York Football Giants. A 36-year-old quarterback who just played his way out of a starting role, who was coming off a torn Achilles and looked like a fraction of the player and looked like he was unhealthy for the entire season. He couldn't even get to the running back on stretch plays. He couldn't move at all. The dumbest thing the Giants could do is trade a fourth-round pick for Kirk Cousins. One, because he stinks, or he stunk last year. But let's talk about some financials. If the New York Giants trade for Kirk Cousins, he would have a cap hit of $27.5 million for the New York Giants. The Giants have $65 million in cap space. You're willing to give half of that to Kirk Cousins? So I'm giving up a pick, and I got to pay him $27 million? Say it again. Hell no, I'm not trading for Kirk Cousins. Look at these stats. Shield your children's eyes. Don't show them this. 67% completion percentage. That's fine. 250 yards per game. That's fine. He threw 18 touchdowns in 14 games. That's some Daniel Jones shit. He threw 16 interceptions in 14 games. He had 13 big-time throws compared to 24 turnover-worthy plays. Those numbers should be flipped. You should never have more turnover-worthy plays than big-time throws. He is a cooked product. At least that's what he looked like this past year. In a new system, on a new team, a year removed from tearing the Achilles. And at 36, I don't know how fast that Achilles is going to heal. I mean, look at this idea. Someone was employed by this company and came up with this trade idea and thought it was a good one. Good one. Kirk Cousins for Cordell Flott, who's not even good. But I'm not trading a fourth-round pick and a starting corner for a quarterback. Especially when there are rumors out there that the Falcons might just cut Kirk Cousins, which would make him a free agent, which means the Giants should just go out, or could, not should, they could just go out and sign him, maybe for just $2 million. Because Kirk Cousins had $100 million guaranteed. Kirk Cousins is in the similar situation as Russell Wilson was in 2024. Remember Russ? He ended up being cut by the Broncos, had over $100 million in guaranteed money. So what did he do? He went out and signed a veteran minimum contract. He wanted to play for the Giants. And Joe Schoen said, you're going to be the backup for Daniel Jones. Still can't believe he did that. So maybe if Kirk Cousins wants to come play on this team for $2 million and no trade and not having to give up a first or fourth round pick for him, then maybe I would be interested in him. But there is no way I'm trading for Kirk Chains. There is not a world that I would make my worst enemy live in where they have to watch Kirk Cousins as the quarterback for the Giants, where they had to pay him $27 million and give up a fourth-round pick. It is idiotic. I'm not out, though, on Kirk Cousins coming to the Giants. There is a world where I think it makes some sense, but it's damn sure not $27 million, and it's damn sure not worth a fourth-round pick in a starting corner. I'll tell you why I would bring him in and how I would want to do that. But first, make sure you are hooked up with our proud sponsor, Game Time. They specialize in last-minute tickets as well as getting the best seats for the lowest price guaranteed. And if you're looking for if you're looking for tickets to a playoff game, best place to get it is Game Time. I've been to an NFL playoff game before. You build lifelong memories. You meet people. It's a lot of fun. It's also great when you have a great seat and you can get the best seats for the lowest price guaranteed at Game Time. And if you use our promo code ChatSports, you're going to get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. The app's super easy to use. You get to see your seat view inside the app. You get to use the app that has your tickets to scan yourself into the stadium. You don't have to print anything out. And lowest price guaranteed. If you use that all-in pricing feature, you're going to look at prices that are all in. You don't get any hidden fees when you get to check out. And that Game Time Picks feature makes it that much more easy to go see your favorite people perform. It's more than just NFL games. You go to NBA, you can go to MLB, you can go to concerts, you can go to theater events, you can go to comedy shows, and so much more. So hit the bio, scroll down, and click on the link in the bio because all the information will be clickable down there. All righty. How about the Giants go out and sign Kirk Cousins? I'm not trading for him. I will not trade for him. Trading for him is a fireable offense for Joe Schoen. It only makes sense to sign Kirk Cousins if he's willing to do the Russell Wilson deal. If Kirk Cousins is cut by the Atlanta Falcons and he's free to sign where he wants, yeah, I would bring in Kirk Cousins for a veteran minimum contract and draft a quarterback. That's not a bad QB room to enter in. The Giants can't afford him, though, at $27 million. A $27 million cap hit for Kirk Cousins in the year of 2025 after he just threw 18 touchdowns and 16 picks and he had to be benched for Michael Penix? Yeah, not interested. I would bet on Cousins, though, for $2 million. I would. I think it's a low-risk move that has a high reward. Risky reward. Maybe not a reachable reward. And what if he bounces back in year 2 after the Achilles tear? You always hear that it's year 2 after players tear their ACL, they're back. Well, maybe it's year 2 after the Achilles that they're back. I mean, look, let's say you signed to a $2 million deal, right? And he starts week 1 for you, and you draft a quarterback. Maybe it's Dart Milrow or McCord later in the draft, and you draft Travis Hunter in round 1. If he sucks, I also think he could be a solid mentor for a young QB. I thought it was really cool. Before the news broke, when he was notified from the Falcons he was benched, he called Michael Penix, and he let him know, hey, this is happening. I'm going to be here for you the rest of the season. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help this team. I love that. There's also reports out there that Atlanta could keep him as their backup QB. So nothing's set in stone about him being cut, but what should be set in stone and written in ink and in Sharpie that the Giants should not trade for him. I do worry about Kirk Cousins not in a Shanahan or McVay scheme because Brian Daboll doesn't run that type of offense. He doesn't at all. And he's never played in a system where he has it, so I worry about that. Can he give you 1 year production, though? Can he give you 1 year of a bridge? Can he give you 10 games of solid contribution and then give a handoff to the next quarterback? At $2 million, it's worth it. At $2 million, it's worth it. If it's not Kirk Cousins, another couple of bridge quarterbacks, Sam Darnold, he's going to get the most money of anybody. I am interested in signing Sam Darnold if the price is right. And the price has to be his average annual value starts with a 3. Has to be in the 30s. I can't go into the 40s. Justin Fields, also an option as well, as is Russell Wilson. One of those guys is staying in Pittsburgh. One of them is leaving. Whoever it is, he's on my list of players I'm interested in. Another guy would be Zach Wilson. He's close to the top of my list. Former first-round pick, played for the Jets, following the Sam Darnold line of thinking, went to QB school this past year with Sean Payton in Denver, had a lot of good things to say about him. I'd bet on him as a upside backup QB. Mac Jones is also someone that I'm interested in. Brian Daboll was the offensive coordinator when Mac Jones was at Alabama. Not the year Mac Jones played, but he was there on the team when Brian Daboll was on staff. He did lead a team to the playoffs. He somehow made a Pro Bowl. Not saying he's going to win you a Super Bowl, and not saying he's going to win you games. But there's worse QBs out there. Marcus Mariota, I am all in on if you draft Ward or Sanders to be that veteran, that mentor, as he played well this year for Washington. If you draft Ward or Sanders, I'm also interested in a guy like Andy Dalton, who mentored Bryce Young, who stepped in to play for Bryce Young this year. Again, Dalton's not getting you to the Super Bowl. Dalton's not getting you to the playoffs. The expectation for Dalton would be Maybe start the first 2 games of the year and then teach a young quarterback how to be a pro quarterback. Dalton could do that. Question to you is this. Who takes snap number 1 of the 2025 season for the Giants? Who takes the first snap of the year for this organization at QB? Sound off for me, and if you haven't yet, give me a follow on social media. Twitter, IG, @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up, and let's go Big Blue.